Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. By events in the classes of the Bhagavatam and by learning those services to the pure devotee, all the disturbance of our hearts is almost completely destroyed. And learning to the personality of Godhead, whose praise which comes in the songs is accomplished as a irrevocable fact. Om Jnana-Timirandasya Jnana-Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him.
So today, as per today's schedule, we will be reading from text 51 from chapter 9 of Canto 7 to text number 10, chapter 10. Right? So, let's start with Prabhu.
The great saint Narada said, "Thus Lord Nrsimhadev was pacified by the devotion of Maharaj with prayers offered from the transcendental platform. Lord gave up his anger and being very kind to Prahlad, who was often prostrated obeisances, he spoke as always."
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Prahlad, most gentle one, best of the family of the Asuras, all good fortune unto you. I am very much pleased with you. It is my pastime to fulfill the desires of all living beings, and therefore you may ask from me any benediction that you desire to be fulfilled."
Dear Prahlad, may you live a long time. One cannot appreciate or understand me without pleasing me, but one who has seen or pleased me has nothing more for which to lament for his own satisfaction.
Thank you. Devashi Prabhu. Text
Please
50.
go ahead. My dear Prahlad, you are very fortunate. Please know from me that those who are very wise and highly elevated try to please me in all different modes of knowledge, for I am the only person who can fulfill all the desires of everyone.
Narad Muni said, Prahlad Maharaj was the best person in the family of Asurs, who always aspired for material happiness. Although eldered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who offered him all benedictions for material happiness, because of his unalloyed Krishna consciousness, he didn't want to take any material benefit for sense gratification.
Thank you. We'll move to chapter 10. Hare Krishna.
The Saint Narada Muni continued, "Although Prahlad Maharaj was only a boy, when he heard the benedictions offered by Lord Nrsimhadev, he considered them impediments on the path of devotional service. Thus he smiled and very mildly spoke as follows."
Prahlad Maharaj said, "My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because I was born in an atheistic family, I am naturally attached to material enjoyment. Therefore, cannot tempt me with these illusions. I am very much afraid of material conditions, and I desire to be liberated from materialistic life. It is for this reason that I have taken lotus feet."
O my worshipable Lord, the seed of lusty desires, which is the root cause of material existence, in the core of everyone's heart. You have sent me to this material world to exhibit the symptoms of a pure devotee.
The wise, O my Lord, the supreme instructor of the entire world, you are so kind to your devotees that you could not on the other hand, one who desires gain for the service cannot be your pure. Indeed, he is no better than a merchant who wants profit in exchange for service.
A servant who desires material profits from his master is certainly not qualified servant or devotee. Similarly, a master who bestows benedictions upon his servant because of a desire to maintain a prestigious position as master is also not a pure master.
Next. Go ahead.
Oh my Lord, I am your unmotivated servant, and you are my eternal master. There is no need of avoiding anything other than master and servant. You are naturally my master, and I am naturally your servant. We have no other relationship.
That's very weird, Prabhu. Thank you.
O my Lord, best of the givers of benediction, if you at all want to bestow a desirable benediction upon me, Then I pray from your Lordship that within the core of my heart there be no material desires.
My Lord, a human being is able to pursue the lustful desires from the very beginning of one's birth. The functions of one's senses, mind, life, body, religion, patience, intelligence, shyness, opulence, strength, tenderness, are vanquished.
O my Lord, when a human being is able to give up all the material desires in his mind, he becomes eligible to possess wealth and opulence like yours.
O my Lord, full of six opulences, O Supreme Person, O Supreme Soul, killer of all miseries, O Supreme Person in the form of a wonderful lion and man, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto you.
Thank you. So the rest of the day is text number 4. We have it here. Let's recite it. Nanyate khila guru Ghatita karunatmana Yasya ashisha ashaste Nasa bhritya savaivanik
Nandate kila guru.
Nanyate khila guru
Gareta karunatmana
Yastashisha ashaste.
Nasa savaivanik
Nanyata te khila guru.
Nanyate kila guru Gareta karunatmana
Yasa ashisha ashaste.
Yasya ashisha ashaste
Nasa britya savevani.
Nasa bhritya savaivanik
Nanyata te khila guru.
Nanyata te khila guru
Ghatita karunatmanah.
Ghatita karunatmanah Yasya ashisha ashaste
Nasa pritya hanavaivanik.
Nasa bhritya savaivanik. Thank you. We'll read the synonyms together. No, anyatha, otherwise, of you, Akhil Guru, O Supreme Instructor of the entire creation, Gadeta, such a thing can happen. Karuna Atmana, Supreme Person who is extremely kind to his devotees, yeah, any person who pay from material benefits, ashas they desires in exchange for serving you, no. Such a person, Vritya, a servitor, such a person, where indeed Vanik, a merchant, who wants to get material profit from his business. So repeat after me the translation. Otherwise, O my Lord, repeat after. So motivated. Okay. Otherwise, O my Lord, O instructor of the entire world, you are so kind to your devotees that you could not induce him to do something unbeneficial for him.
You are so kind that you could not induce him to do something unbeneficial for him.
On the other hand, one who desires some material benefit in exchange for devotional service cannot be your pure devotee.
One who desires some material benefit in exchange for devotional service cannot be your pure devotee.
Indeed, he is no better than a merchant who wants profit in exchange for service.
Indeed, he is no better than a merchant who wants profit in exchange for service.
We'll start with just ahead, Prabhu.
It is sometimes found that one comes to a devotee or a temple of the Lord just to get some material benefit. Such a person is described here as mercantile man. Bhagavad of Arthojinas Artharthi. The word Artha refers to one who is physically distressed, and Artharthi refers to one in need of money. Such persons are forced to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead for mitigation of their distress or to get some money by the benediction of the Lord.
Okay. Yes, Manal Prabhu.
They have been described as Sukriti, pious, because in their distress or need for money, they have approached the Supreme Lord. Unless one is pious, one cannot approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. However, Although a pious man may receive some material benefit, one who is concerned with material benefits cannot be a pure devotee. When a pure devotee receives material opulences, this is not because of his pious activity, but for the service of the Lord. When one engages in devotional service, one is automatically pious. Therefore, a pure devotee is anyabhilashita shunya. He has no material desire for material profit. Nor does the Lord induce him to try to profit materially. When a devotee needs something, the Supreme Personality of Godhead supplies it. Yoga Ksheman Vaham.
Yes.
Sometimes materialists go to a temple to offer flowers and fruit to the Lord because they have learned from Bhagavad Gita that if a devotee offers some flowers and fruits, the Lord accepts. In Bhagavad Gita 9.26, the Lord says,
Patam pushpalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tataham bhakti bhagatam ashnami prayatmana.
If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. Thus a man with a merchant mentality thinks that if he can get some material benefit, like a large amount of money, simply by offering a little fruit and flower, this is good business. Such persons are not accepted as pure devotees because their desires are they are still mercantile men, even though they go to temples to know of being devotees. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tat paratmena nirmalam. Only when one is fully freed from material can one be purified, and only in that purified state can one serve the Lord. Rishikeshena Rishikesha Sevayam Bhakti Ruchyate. This is pure devotional platform.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. I know you all are kind of very well aware of what we are reading out, and you guys have good knowledge than me, to be honest. But again, when I read something, I just simplify it very much so that I can understand it. So it's not going to be too much technical, but very simple way we'll try to understand. Or I will share what I understood of it. Okay. So before we start, I have a question. Does it happen with you all, like you loved someone in the material world so much, like you had expectations from them, but that thing let you down very much in life?
Yes.
How many times?
More than I can count.
6, more than once.
Do you know why does it happen?
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. Thank you, that's true. Anything else?
4 defects human body.
So still we know, and again you say like so many times it happened. When you already know that people are like human beings have certain defects, but still you expect from them. Why? Isn't it like begging from a beggar? Someone whose cup is empty and we try to kind of ask them to refill our cup. That's impossible. And then that's the time we realize that when we don't have any hopes from anyone else in the world, the only hope is left is Krishna. And that's where we reach him. Second, it happened with me a lot of times. Just a few days before my exams start, I start going to the temple. Did you guys do that?
Yes.
Why? Why?
Guilty as charged. Huh?
Why?
Because, I don't know, my mom just used to say that do your best and then leave the rest in Krishna. So I would study all night and then in the morning I would be like, I've done my best. That's what my prayer was.
In my case it was different.
Me too.
Yes, bro.
So I wouldn't study. Then I would go to Krishna and be like, oh, Krishna, I didn't study, but I'm in service for you, so please help me.
Oh my god, full business deal. What I would do, just a few days before exams, you would see everybody would come to the temple evening especially and after their exams, before the results get declared, they would be there with sweets and all. So I used to be someone like, please give me passing marks this time. And what's my favorite sweet? It used to be rasgulla. I would bring you 1 kilogram rasgulla because that was my favorite. And that's how we kind of used to do, or we still do, business deals with Krishna. Still, we reach him out. It shows us like we are somewhere pious. So there is a verse, Bhagavad Gita 7.16. Can we pull it? Sure. So there are 4 kind of devotees reach out Krishna, and I know you all know the verse already. We'll see the verse, verse queen. So,
Yes.
Yeah, Chaturvida Bhajante Mam Jana Sukriti Norjana Arto Jignasu Karti Gnani Cha Bharatashvara.
somebody would like to read the purport?
Translation?
Purport.
Unlike the miscreants, these are adherents of the regulative principles of the scriptures, and they are called Sukritinaha, or those who obey the rules and regulations of scriptures, the moral and social laws that are more or less the Supreme Lord. Out of these, there are 4 classes of men: those who are sometimes distressed, those who are in need of money, those who are sometimes inquisitive, and those who are sometimes searching after knowledge of the absolute truth.
Can go forward.
These persons come to the Supreme Lord for devotional service under different conditions. These are not pure devotees because they have some aspiration to fulfill the need for devotional service. Pure devotional service is without aspiration and without desire for mutual profit. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.11 defines pure devotion thus: Anya Vilashadashu Nyam Jnana Karma Dhanavritam Anukulena Krishna Nushidhanam Bhaktirottama. One should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably and without desire for material profit or gain through further activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure devotional service. When these 4 kinds of persons come to the Supreme Lord for devotional service and are completely purified with association with pure devotee, they also become pure devotees. As far as the spirits are concerned, for them devotional service is very difficult because their lives are selfish, irregular, without spiritual goals. But even some of them, by chance, when they come in contact with the pure devotee, also become pure devotees. Those who are always busy with spiritual activities come to distress, and at that time associate with pure devotees and become in their distress before the Lord. Those who are simply frustrated also come sometimes to associate with the pure devotees and become inquisitive to know about God. Similarly, when philosophers are frustrated in every field of knowledge, they sometimes want to learn of God, and they come to the Supreme Lord to render devotional service and thus transcend knowledge of the impersonal Brahman and the localized Paramatma and come to the personal conception of Godhead by the grace of the Supreme Lord or Spirit devotee.
Thank you, Prabhu. That's all. So, here we learn thing that we are devotees, but we are not pure devotees. Some people who are very curious to know about Krishna, some people are self-realized but know the personality of Krishna. They haven't developed the love for Krishna. They also reach out him. So here we have Artha, we have Artharthi, we have Jnanis, we have Jigyasus. Jigyasus means they are curious to know, ones who judge, but they have the curiosity to learn. But still they are impure. So what do you think that purifies us? Yes, man. What purifies us?
Chanting.
Okay. I know you already know.
Devotional service.
Sorry?
9 processes of devotional service.
Thank you. Yes, Prabhu?
Who, me?
Yes.
Or renunciation of material desire
Okay.
or attachment to Krishna.
Something was mentioned here.
Devotional service.
Okay. Yes.
Association of pure devotees.
Yes, association of devotees. Association plays a very vital role in our life. Can anyone describe it? Maybe Nityananda Prabhu? How does, what role does association of these play in our lives?
Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Dhamma Sadhu Sangha, Siddhi.
You know, we have so many comfortable, luxurious room in the men's ashram, so many comfortable beds and all, but the best sleep you get is in the Bhagavatam class. Everybody prefers to sleep. Anyways, yeah, association of devotees play a great role. For example, just say yourself as dust. When dust accompanies water, it turns into a puddle. But at the same time, when dust accompanies the air, it touches the sky. So who you associate with, it decides your future. Any questions so far?
How,
So,
sorry. How do we get association of devotees?
yes. Tell me, I mean, we read one of the translation, it mentioned like who is pure devotee and who is pure master, right? Does someone remember? In one of the translations we read, yeah.
The servant who wants something in exchange for a service is not the pure servant, and the master who like I don't know how to explain it.
Okay. If I say there'll be no prasadam after the Bhagavatam class, how many of you would stay here? Almost everybody would leave if their motivation is prasadam, right? So that's not the pure motivation. At the same time, when a devotee is not having a pure motivation behind serving his master, and the master kind of, he wants himself to be called master because of his image and all, he just kind of appreciates the devotee unnecessarily, gives him something. That's also a very wrong, unethical way. You could not call it a pure master. So when Krishna loves you, what does he do? When Krishna loves you, what does he do? Okay, you can pull 10.88.8. Srimad Bhagavatam.
He takes away material possessions.
He takes away everything.
That's what one perspective is.
Yes. The neutral translation. So the personality of God had said, if I specially favor someone, I deprive him of his wealth, then the relatives and friends of such a poverty-stricken man abandon him. In this way, he suffers one distress after another. So, does it help us?
Yes.
So the real master will purify you. He doesn't want himself to be called master, but his goal is to purify you, bring you back to the Godhead. So when you come to the temple, when you are distressed, what happens next?
You cry.
Obviously, you don't have to, it just automatically happens. Yes.
You take shelter of Krishna.
Yes. So when you have that desire, Krishna, when you have that desire to love him, to know more about him, Krishna sends devotees in your life. When that desire is really pure, like when Dhruv Maharaj really wanted to meet his real father, Narayan, Krishna sent Narad Muni, and rest is history already. The same way, when we come to the temple, we creation of devotees here. And what happens after the creation of devotees?
Heart changes.
Heart changes.
Heart changes.
And
Devotional service starts. Devotional service starts.
You're able to gradually purify yourself.
you get to know your real self. And what our real self is, that we are the servant of Krishna. That's our real self that we are not aware of. There was an analogy shared with me that when you meet your spiritual master, if he is a pure master, then he will let you meet with your real identity. Like you all are spiritual souls. Your originality is that you are Krishna's servant, we are part and parcel of Krishna, but they are on us. As you all know that the butter that we use, it comes out of milk. Oh, no problem. The butter that we eat, it comes out of milk. So in milk, the butter is already there. In butter, there is clarified ghee as well. So in milk, butter is already there. But just to light up a lamp, can we put milk in the lamp? No, it would not work. So the milk has to be turned into yogurt first. So butter turns into yogurt. Yogurt gets churned, and then that turns into butter, and then butter gets clarified, turns into clarified ghee. And once it is ghee in its pure form, it is used to serve Krishna. That's where we can light up the lamp. So the spiritual master, when spiritual master comes in our life, that's how he purifies. That's how he makes us able to be served to Krishna. He removes all the layers. Any questions so far? Mm-hmm.
So here Prahlad Maharaj says one who goes to Krishna for material benefits, he should not be like, he have motives, right?
That's not. He is still reaching Krishna. He's not a pure devotee yet. He needs association of pure devotees. When he gets the association of pure, what happens when you meet your spiritual master? You meet a pure devotee. Someone. I mean, pure devotee is like a torchlight in the darkness. When there is a torchlight with you in the darkness, it helps you meet the big light. When you walk with the torchlight, it helps you merge with the big light. The same way, spiritual master, when he is there in your life, he helps you. He gives you the knowledge. He gives you the lifestyle. He gives you the chakshudan, the spiritual vision to see Krishna, and that's where you can you become eligible to know the personality of Godhead.
So I'll be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I have associated with pure devotees,
Mm-hmm.
but I still have no material desires.
So still you are in the process. If you have become a pure devotee,
So like it's a matter of time.
mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of time.
See, here we are practicing bhakti. Here we are living a disciplined life. Everything we do is kind of very well balanced. Very well balanced in the sense that like we think we do right things on time. We get up on time, we eat on time, we sleep on time, we do our spiritual practices on time. When you practice all these things regularly, then you start kind of purifying yourself. Sometimes it's very challenging to get up early in the morning, but again, it's very important. The lifestyle outside is very different. Say people I might have mentioned like remembering God, you can just remember God anytime, any moment. Why does it have to be like 4 a.m. or why do you have to go to Darshanarti 7 a.m.? Why do you have to meditate every day? Just like why do you have to take shower to remember God? A lot of those things. Now, remembering God definitely is good. It's 100%. Whenever you want, you can do that. Whenever you want to do prayer, you can do that. But at the same time, as they say, like eating sprouts is very healthy for us, right? Eating fruits and vegetables very healthy for us. But what if you eat sprouts at 2 a.m.? Would it be kind of good for your body? So things have to be, and good things, even if it's good, it has to be done on its particular time. It should not be imbalanced. Any other question? So now, what are the qualifications of a pure devotee? Yeah.
One who has no material desires.
Who is?
Who's
Who's at the stage of Anya Bhilashita Shunyam, who doesn't have any material desire. The only desire that he has is to have causeless devotional service. The way Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentions, want birth and birth, after birth, causeless devotional service. We might be looking for liberation, we might be looking for the ways to go back to Godhead. Pure devotees, with God's permission, they would like to come back to material in any form, in any world, just to serve Him, so that they can purify other people on this planet. Here, I would like to ask a question. Did it happen with you? Sometimes people say like, God is in our heart. Why should we kind of, looking for Him outside?
A lot of times.
What do you think in the case?
Like, I give them an example that air is there everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to fill air in the tire, you need to go, air station, right, where there is accessible air and put it in the tire. So that's why God is there everywhere, but you do not have the vision to see God everywhere. So you have to go to the temple and see the deity.
Thank you. Sometimes some people say, we don't believe in going to temple, but we believe in good karma. We do good karma, and that's all that makes us happy. Do they really satisfy their purpose on this planet? No. So how do we satisfy our purpose? Yeah. How do we satisfy our purpose? Yes, quickly yourself.
Follow the path of Guru or
Yes.
follow the path of the Creator, Bhagwan.
Yes.
Follow.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, thank you. Like in Sri Ishopanishad, it's mentioned that Krishna is complete. We are part and parcels of Krishna. So we are also complete in ourselves, and at the same time, like consider yourself as a complete unit, and when you see your body parts, like your hands are also a complete unit. If your hands want to enjoy separate from your body, can they really enjoy? If your ears want to enjoy separate from your body, can they really satisfy their purpose? Not possible. The same way, as long as the hands are attached to our body, they have a value. As long as they are attached, they can serve the body, serve the whole. The same way, as long as we are attached to Krishna, since we are parcels of Krishna, as long as we are attached to Him, we can serve Him, and our purpose is also served. So people who are not content, who are not happy, how can they make others happy? To make us happy, to do good for others, first you have to do good for yourself too. That's really very important. Anything else, if you guys would like to ask? But we have sufficient time.
What are the wishes between material desires and spiritual desires?
Spiritual desires, when our desires are connected with Krishna, with serving Krishna and serving His devotees. Our true identity is that we are servants of servants of servants of servants of Krishna. So when we serve their servants, it directly goes to Krishna. But we try to satisfy our senses, we cannot be content. It happens several times with us, we might have experienced in our lives, that we try to serve our senses, we try to give them the biggest pleasure we can, but at the same time, as soon as we serve our senses, just after some time, we regret. Like, why did I even do that? Because Krishna is complete, He loves complete things. He doesn't like temporary things. Destination of every body, every human body is cremation center. But the destination of the soul is Godhead. To go back to Krishna. So when we do something, we do devotional service, the kind of pleasure that we get, we can't even express it. It's inexplicable. The kind of bliss that we feel after doing devotional services, where we are completely selfless. So it nourishes the soul, it nourishes the Krishna residing in our hearts. Yes, you wanted to ask something?
How do we differentiate between those spiritual and material desires, for example? I live far away from temple, an hour from the transit to come here. So I just want a car to be more comfortable. But I say that I'm purchasing a car because I want to go to the temple and go to devotion service, right? But it takes less time through transit and more time through car. But I'm more comfortable in the car. Is that a material desire or a spiritual desire?
Well, you know yourself better than anyone else. When you do your introspection, you know that why do you want this car? It's just to give comfort to your body or comfort your soul. When it's about giving comfort to your soul so that you can serve Krishna, you'll get your answer. When you really want to serve Krishna, events happen miraculously in my life several times. When you really want to love Krishna, you automatically end up coming to the temple. When you really want to kind of know more about Him, automatically spiritual master devotees come in your life. You may be walking on the road and somebody would come with a Bhagavad Gita. And when you are reading Prabhupada's books, means you're associating with Prabhupada. That's why you have sadhu sangha. Anyone else? Yes.
So Prabhu, can you clarify again? So are you saying that approaching Lord Krishna for or having desires fulfilled is not the greatest idea?
say approaching.
So approaching Lord Krishna to have my desires fulfilled, I shouldn't do that, or I should do that?
See, if I say, when you see a beggar, what do? You give them some fruits, maybe some money. But what happens next? Does it end their poverty? No. They would beg after an hour or so, as soon as they feel hungry again, as soon as they end up using the money. Same time, to that beggar, you give them an opportunity to get rid of that poverty. Won't it be beneficial for everyone? That's bhakti. When you give them bhakti, it means you are helping them getting rid of this cycle of birth and death, and you have no idea how many people are going to get help with that. Thank you for asking such a question. Yes, Prabhu.
So, Prabhu, it is mentioned here that we should not have material desires when we go to the temple and when we do offering or like do prayer to God, right? But most of the people, like if you see in India also, like whenever there is something like they want specifically for some desires, like if you want good fortune, you have money, you worship Lord Lakshmi, Goddess Lakshmi.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to start something, they worship Lord Ganesha. So how do we convince people like in such things?
See, people worship demigods because they don't know the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they just want the instant results in their life. Like we can see in Prahlad Maharaj's story, when Hiranyakashipu, when he does austerities, Brahma, he becomes happier, and then he gives him a benediction. What happens next? He regrets. All the demigods get distressed, and they end up going to Vishnu, and the real solution comes from Vishnu. So demigods satisfy their temporary needs so that people keep on worshipping them, but they cannot. To give bhakti, to give something to someone, you must have it on you in abundance. That's how it is about. So demigods satisfy material needs, but only a devotee can give you love for Krishna. So you still have to reach out to a devotee, and that only can happen Krishna's mercy. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, Prabhu, so it said that we should only ask for devotional service to Krishna, not material desires, right? But still I have material desires. I go to Krishna. What should be my ideology be? While obviously I will ask to Krishna only, I will not go to any other demigod. So I'll go to Krishna with material desires. What should be my mentality?
Since we are conditioned, we are in a human body, and like if I ask you, this is for everyone, and I guess you know the answer also. This is a line, and I would like you, Prabhus, to make it smaller.
Make one bigger line.
But you can't touch this line. Make this line smaller.
He said it.
But you can't touch this line. Without this line, you have to make it smaller. Then make a big line. Just make a big. Same way, develop a higher taste. When you want to get rid of your material desires, then develop a higher taste. When you do sadhu sangha, when you read Krishna stories, when you do shravanam, when you do kirtanam, automatically the higher taste is there. Even if you think I still have taste in all those things, then you would not like it anymore. You would not find that bliss in them, and then you just easily step back. So keep on associating with devotees, and they have that magic. Yes.
So Prabhu, you mentioned that verse, Canto 10, chapter 8, that Krishna is special favor, that he will reply him of that. But in 5th canto, chapter somewhere in between, Krishna says, Krishna fulfills all desires, and that's also his special favor. Yeah, Krishna, he fulfills the desires, and he fulfills desires in such a way that you won't ask anything else.
He fulfills your desires so that you can do more devotional services, so that you could be more blissful.
Yeah,
in such a way.
He says that, Prabhupada says that his special favor. So this is a special favor, that is also special favor. It's in contract.
This special favor to take away all the contaminations from you. First, you get cleansed, and then you get refilled. So then whatever you get, you don't get all those things for your material enjoyment, for sense gratification. You use all those things for Krishna's pleasure, for the pleasure of his devotees. Yep. You have
there are two types of kripa. One is anukul and one is pratikul. So pratikul and that is anukul. So Krishna knows when to give which kripa. If you are not at that position to be in this condition, not do this, because he knows that if he will do this, you will leave devotional service and run away. So at that time, Krishna will give you some wealth, some money, and when you are at that level where that won't affect you, taking away money or taking away whatever possessions you have, it won't affect you. Then Krishna will give this also. Yes, Prabhu, please.
It happens several times with me when you are drinking juice in Prasadam hall. When you see a in your juice, what do you do? What do you do? Does it change the color of the juice? No. Does it the taste of the juice? No. But what you don't consume it because you know it is contaminated now. When you know something is contaminated, you would not consume it. You will let it be as it is. The same way, when Guru gives you spiritual vision, you realize that this material world is contaminated, you never consume it. It doesn't change the nature of the world, it doesn't change the taste of these material pleasures, it's just you have the realization, contaminated, you'll be like, no, I can't touch it. The way the reactions that came, they were so genuine reactions. So that's what happens with us too. Alright. Thank you so much, Prabhus. I know it was very simple, but how I try to understand things. Forgive me for the mistakes I have made. Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.